Hey guys, this is Mr.
And Miss.
And we have a great show for you guys today.
Yeah, baby.
We have a lovely guest and possibly
Special, super great guest.
her husband as well. He's kind of shy, like moi. And so,
I think he's more camera shy than anything. He talks.
like both shy.
Nah.
Yeah.
He not really
But, yeah, so he may be on the show as well. So,
we're excited talking about allowing yourself to grow in a relationship.
yes. Yep.
Growth.
Yeah, I did. I grew a blank. And you looked at me for the title. It was not coming. So I'm good save.
Growth.
allowing allowing growth in a relationship. But so
So do we do a short introduction of her name now, or wait and let her introduce herself?
no, I love allowing her to introduce herself because she loves it so much.
Allow her to introduce herself.
All right. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, did I do it right?
Yes, you did. You are on with our lovely audience. Tell Mr. Sean, hey, audience.
Now we're gonna allow her to introduce herself.
Oh, okay, y'all. Well, hey, y'all. I am Coach TaShon of Steps Coaching Services, TLC. I am a certified relationship coach and radio show host of The Mail Room and much more. And I'm on here with my friends, Lisa and LaRon.
Yay.
So, ma'am, how has your week been so far?
Actually, it's been good. No complaints. So, a little tiring because of the teaching. But other than that, no complaints. The sun is shining and I am good.
Okay. I do have to say the conversation that you had with the kids and them basically playing a
Whole scenario.
a whole scenario out of that like literally killed me. Boy.
Yes, it is real. I
And how old are they?
keep trying to tell y'all folks, the little people are gangster.
How old are they again? What's their range?
They're 4. This is the pre-K 4-year-olds.
Good God.
And they are so serious. So yeah.
So Miss Sean, do you have your special person with you or
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. He is caught up in something else that he has to do. So maybe when he finishes, maybe he will be able to jump on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
hopefully
fine.
he will.
Y'all are one, so you can speak for him.
Yes.
I watching your thing, was that Tuesday or Thursday?
The Truth Moment Tuesday.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was familiar territory, and the reason why I say that is because I came out there. I sought out there Lisa. She was very resistant, and she ran and she hid a couple of times. I had to go climb a tree a couple of times and trying to get her from up there.
I did not run. You were under the test. Okay. You had to meet the 90-day criteria. It probably was a little longer than that, but hey, you suffer long even though you ain't did no wrong.
I like the fact that he asked to court you though.
Yeah, I was shocked by that simply because you talk about it with your grandparents. Well, they talk to us about how your granddaddy met and use the words courting, and I was like, okay, you talk about it, you hear about it, but you never expected it, especially in 2014 or two, you know. And so you're like, courting? Who does that? Like, you courting? What you know about courting? You know? And I guess that's what I
Yeah,
get
let us
for
know what that
judging a
means.
book by its cover. So, that was a lesson for me. Because yeah, I didn't think looking at him, I'm like, courting. I really did. And I told him that. I was like, you know what? You just don't look like the type of guy who would that would talk about courting. So I did hurt his, feelings for a minute, but hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we us
You
us
know,
us real men end up having that done a couple of times or two.
we just when you've been approached wrong a couple of times or different a couple of times and you come in with some genuine realness, it's
Mm.
kind of we have to take a moment to say, oh, okay,
Right. Right.
this might be serious.
But that ain't all fault though.
It's not. It's not. But sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. You know what I'm saying?
That ain't all fault, man. We get punished for being genuine and y'all don't went through some stuff.
Yeah. But
But I get it.
yeah. But it was really a lesson for me never to stop judging a
Yeah.
book by its cover. And so, I've been nice ever since then.
Oh, so the topic.
Dun, dun,
Yes.
dun.
Have you, well, do you think you've grown in your relationship?
Oh, yes and no. Can I say that? Yes and no.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
please.
I feel like growth has no limits on it. It's no time.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna speak more on my piece about growth in a second. But you go
Oh,
ahead, girl.
okay.
You
Yes,
go ahead.
yes, please. Cause yeah, I want to hear this by hers. But you go ahead first, though, ma'am.
Oh, me?
Yes, you. Yes, yes,
Oh,
you.
oh, oh, okay, okay. Look.
Yeah, cause when you say yes and no, yeah, please explain.
Well, when I say yes and no, I say yes and no because I have grown compared to my previous marriage. As I stated before, my previous marriage, I was that um Black woman, Miss Independent. I don't need no man, but I have you physically here, but I can do everything by myself. I got my house, I got my car, my career, my money, my safe. I have all of this stuff. So I just really need you just to get me pregnant because I wanted a family. So therefore, my mindset was, okay, I can do all these things. I don't need any help. I can choose what I need you to help me with.
Whoa, 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 wait,
So,
wait,
So
wait,
really,
wait. Go
at this
back.
point,
Did
you
you
were
say
like,
I just
I
need
really
you to
don't.
get me pregnant?
yeah,
Technically, she don't need a man. She don't need a
I
man
didn't
for
need a
one
man.
thing, and that's it.
That's it. Like I knew that, I wanted to be I didn't want to have children out of wedlock, I wanted that family. So I knew I had to get married to have a child and, to have that family, that white picket fence and so forth. So, I'm like, okay, well, I got everything else except for the guy. So, hey, let me go get the guy and let me still run things the way I want to run things. But he's here. So when I got divorced, it was like and I say that in my book that he did what he did, but I also had to take responsibility in what I didn't do as a woman, as a wife, and as a woman of God, and so forth. So during that hiatus of me not dating and all of that, I really had to take a look at myself and I started to grow. So when I met Handsome Honey, Trinette had to step back from like literally that whole Miss Independent Black woman. I gave up that card. So I was like, oh, okay.
This is what that feels like.
Exactly. Like when he, and people laugh at this, but I'm like, I didn't it didn't bother me if a man didn't open the car door for me, because I'm like, okay, and he opened the car door. Okay. That doesn't say that he's more man. Like it didn't bother. It didn't. When I hear
You
women
did
talking about
nothing
he,
no different than I could do. I could do it myself.
right? When I hear women, I need a man who gonna open up the car door and the car, the doors or what. I'm like, oh, okay. It didn't. That wasn't the end of all. If he didn't. But when I approached him, well, when he approached me, and he started doing these things, taking me out, paying for dinner, like, and I'm like, oh,
Are
he
you
gonna pay for
comfortable?
lunch. I didn't know how to do that. Like, I didn't know how to accept that. So I literally was like, oh. So that's why I say yes and no on the I grew, but it was still a bit of a challenge because I want to say last year before last, we would go out, before the pandemic, we would go out to lunch or whatever, and he brought it to my attention. He said, "I noticed you still reach for your purse whenever I take you out or when we go out." And I said, "No, no, I don't." He said, "Yes, you do." He said, "If I invite you to dinner or lunch, I got you. If you invite me to dinner, lunch, you got me or whatever." But he was like, "I got it." And I said, "Do I really?" He said, "Yeah, you reach for your purse or your wallet every single time." And I said, "Oh." And subconsciously, I didn't realize that I was still doing that. So my growing, even after being married a year or 2 years at that time, I was still growing and learning. So that's why I say yes and no, because I'm learning, I'm still growing, and there's still a lot of things that we're growing together and we're still learning. But it was a game. This has been a game changer for me. So it's been good, like, the growing. But I look back and I pat myself on the back. I'm like, oh, I let him take out the trash, or not let him, but I stepped back.
You did it without saying, "Babe, you take out the trash today. Don't forget to take out the trash, babe."
Right. So
Or you just used to taking the trash out yourself?
I was because I've been by myself, or previously I had to say that, or he put gas in the car. Oh, okay. Or I don't get out. Oh, okay. So yeah, it's for
I
me.
guess
It's good.
I guess it's safe to say that I'm still growing every day then too. So growth, yes and no.
It's
Yeah.
she got this look on her face because everything that you just said, she do the same thing. So y'all are actually
We are definitely
this,
We
like
definitely
sister
are.
twins.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Because I just got her some lunch. She's like, I can really go for some soup, and I pull her to the soup thing, and I see her out the corner of my eyes. She pulling out her wallet and her card, and yeah. So yeah.
I mean, he paid for it and everything, and then I caught myself doing it. So when she was
Yeah.
like, "You need a receipt for that," I was like, "Nah." And I was like, "Oh dang, I'm sorry. I answered that like it was my card, but it's your card. So if you need a receipt, go ahead and ask for one."
Mhm.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, and I also noticed that before I noticed that, like, it would bother me if I had to pay for dinner or anything like that, because I didn't know what people were gonna think, or again it's like, oh shoot, here, I'm sliding my card over. But this time, now that I'm married, it's like it doesn't matter because we're a team. And sometimes, and that's where my growth, is still happening, because sometimes I'm like, oh Lord, people gonna see me take out the card out of my wallet, my purse, and slide. Then I think about that. Then I say, wait a minute, this my husband, and we share. I have to bring myself back to our reality. Like, okay, that in the past, that's in the past. This is my
Yeah.
husband, and it should not matter who pays for what, because I know at the end of the day, he has me and I have him. So that's still part of that growing, and the relationship growth. So I'm still growing in that area as well.
So let me ask you this question with you saying that, Dan. Do you, if you were to sit and just think real hard, if you haven't done it already,
Mm-hmm.
the from you thinking in that way, as in, I got this, I got that, I'm good. You know what? Now I
Mm-hmm.
need that extra part for me to have a baby with, that you attracted the wrong type of man.
Mm-hmm.
Prior, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
did, and that's why I always tell my clients, you have to, at one point of your life, you have to take a that honest look at yourself. Like, you have to strip yourself down in the physical and in the spirit. You have to strip yourself down, because obviously there is something when you attract the same type of characters, the same type of scenarios on each guy that you're dating or each woman that you're dating. It's not them, it's you. And most of the time we don't want to hear that. And then I had to realize, I'm like, oh, I'm when I started taking a look at myself, it was, hard, but I was determined to find out, why am I attracting the same type of guys, and why am I wanting the same thing from each guy, this family, or I want something from them, but I already got what I need, or XYZ. So you really do have to take a look at yourself, and you have to answer those questions, like, what is it that I'm doing, and why am I attracting the same type of dude? I was always attracting the dude that I could take care of.
Mm,
And that was it, because I'm that nurturer,
mm.
and I want to see people do good, or I want to control. That's that word that many of us don't like. But I was a controlling person. But I was a sweet controlling person.
There is no such thing, but okay, girl.
I was a sweet controlling person. I'm gonna
That
let
that
you
you was
know.
nice, nasty with it.
Right, right.
No,
It's like
I
you really don't want to go leave, but I'm just gonna let you know, if you trying to leave me, it's not gonna be favorable. I was that nice.
No, man.
wow. I can say that for me, prior to dating Mister, it was like, hmm, all y'all got the same issues. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think I was really looking for somebody to control per se.
Yeah.
Just somebody to help blend in with my dynamic. And like a lot of these guys just were not into that. And I just
Mm-hmm.
was not looking in the right direction, or I wasn't clearly stating what I wanted in the beginning. I was leading first and asking questions later.
Okay.
But
And then I got to a point where I was like, you know what, stop. I got to cut all of it off, re-question myself and think, what is it I really want?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even in my pause, I still probably wasn't really 100% sure of what I really want. I prayed for what I wanted. I got it. But
you
I
still
still,
didn't.
I
That
still
wasn't what you
was
want.
skeptical about it, because I was like, what if I'm making one of these other dives like I've been diving off, dive off the deep end, and it's really shallow. I keep bumping my head or my arm or elbow and scratching myself up. This ain't cool.
Right. Right.
But I'm gonna ask
Yeah.
you the same
But I
thing.
have, bro,
I'm gonna ask you
what
the
you got?
same thing I asked her though.
What you asked her?
If you sit down and you really think, what was your reason that you feel that allowed you to subject yourself to pretty much the same type of guy? Because yeah, the
Like I just said, not really being sure of what I really wanted.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
It was just pretty much just lost, because I just got out of something that I thought was perfect. I thought it was what I wanted. I thought it was growing into what I wanted to be, and it really was not.
mm,
What it was all cracked out to be, and that's okay. I mean, I had grown to the point where I was like, life happens, things happen. All right, we move on next. And I think growth for me was a really big thing because I had etched it in my mind that um, misconception of relationships, that daily growth for me had been seen as, damn, you've changed. You're not
Mm-hmm.
the same person anymore.
Mm.
And that person saw that as something that was wrong. So I got to a point where I said, you know what? I stunted my growth to try and make something work that wasn't working. And
Mm-hmm.
then I continued and carried that over in trying to date people. So I wasn't growing as I was dating people or getting to know people. Like I said, I'm just leading with feelings first and then asking the questions about character later.
Mm.
When I should have been
Yeah.
doing character asking first and then, leading into, hey, this is what I want.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
wasn't, I wouldn't even asking no questions about what you want for the future, or what you plan on doing in 5 years. I wasn't asking those questions. I was just going with what I felt. And if I
Mm.
felt like I liked you enough, I would give you the time of day, even if it felt like, hey, this might disturb my peace or interrupt my schedule. I probably shouldn't do this, and I still allowed myself to be, you know, in that position. But thankfully,
Mm.
something knocked me upside the head a couple of times, or whatever, and here I am,
Mm.
growing every day.
Mm.
And I have someone who accepts my daily growth, my daily, as they would say in air quotes, change, and sees it as a beautiful thing
Right.
going forward, and vice versa.
Right.
Well, mine's, I can tell you exactly the reason, not giving this as an excuse, but I can tell you where mine stemmed from. Um, Me dating or being more attracted to, or finding myself dating longer the broken woman was due to
I'm a
my broke
fixer.
yeah, I'm a fixer and my broken mom.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can fix this woman here to be my wife, and maybe that'll show my mom that
That I'm a
she
good man.
yeah, that I become that man that she want my dad to be.
Mm.
And instead of, everybody is broken at some point.
Right.
Everybody has a disability at some point. It's just you figuring out which is which. And
That's a
so,
level of growth right there itself.
mhm. And
Yeah.
so I know people say after you leave a relationship that you need to go and heal before you get into another relationship. You can heal all day long, but until you get into a relationship and find out that you have triggers, that's a whole nother story in itself.
And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
triggers are all, well, at least for us, have all been growth points because trigger happen, and either one or two things finna happen. We either finna discuss it, or either we emotionally lead first,
Yeah.
Mm.
and then we backtrack and say, you know what, you're not the other person that I
Yeah.
used to be with, and I'm not the same as I used to be. So now we gotta grow from this. We gotta change these responses so this doesn't keep happening.
So have you and
Handsome honey.
handsome honey come across any triggers in your growth process?
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a you got about 4 or 5 hours. That is
Well,
one
maybe
thing.
maybe not all of them, but
Yeah,
just one that
just
that
that
can stand
one.
out, that you don't have to like just go grave details, but just one that that you've been triumphant with growing from.
You know, and I like that question because again, it's part of growth. And one thing that we've been growing from, well, we're still learning. We made it, as I stated before, our marriage took a turn for it took a turn after my mom died. So, because she died 3 weeks after we got married. So therefore, I was not the person that he was courting. I was no longer that person that he had courted and started dating and asked to marry. I was no longer that Trinette. So the after she died, I was another person. So therefore, everything about me before had changed, and it's still changing. So last year, we hadn't been able to celebrate our anniversaries like I really want to, because again, it just became a sad moment for me. So this year, it was like kind of we decided to start over, that it was okay. I had to convince, well, I didn't really have to convince him, but he's really kind of old school. He's like, how you start over? Don't nobody start over. You mean we got to get married again? I was like, no, babe. I'm like, we just, both of us got a fresh slate, clean slate, you know. So he really was able to buy into the idea of starting over, like, okay, well, let's get to know each other again. Because I had to just really tell him, I'm not that person anymore. And I said, I apologize, but I'm not that girl that when you met, yes, my life has changed. Like, I really had to break down what I was going through and what I was feeling, because he didn't understand that, because I didn't share it with him. So our communication, where it used to be a trigger, where it was like we were bumping heads these past 3.5 years, because our communication was off. And when I say off, it was off. Like, if I say something, it would either trigger him to say, wait a minute, what? No, what? We would just clash. And so I wasn't hearing him and he wasn't hearing me. And so we had to just really sit down, and I had to I had to put my big girl panties on, and I had to be vulnerable, and I had to share with him what I was going through. And then that opened up the doors for him to say, oh, okay. Well, I'm not used to, for him, he wasn't used to having that communication. He wasn't used to having somebody asking him how he was doing, and, if what about his goals and his dreams or whatever. So this past year, we've we're learning how to communicate with each other, and not get upset if I don't like what he's saying, and if he doesn't like what I'm saying. So it's kind of like accepting each other for who we are, so that's part of our growth, just one of them. And I have to say that I'm pretty proud of ourselves, um, as a team. I told him, I said, life is really precious, and you don't ever have to worry about me being against you. You don't ever have to worry about me, just turning my back on you. However, I need to be able to understand you, and you need to be able to understand me. So let me reintroduce myself. So I really had to, hey, how you doing? My name is Trinette Collier, and I'm married to you. This is me, like I had to reintroduce myself, the new me, because that old me, which was nothing, which was the a little bit more vibrant type of girl, woman, the more talkative, whereas now I'm like real quiet in the household, or, I want to be up under him and more this, that, and other. So I had to,
Oh, look at
Yeah,
that.
I could see that. I don't know. Losing a parent would, especially my mother, would probably put me into a bit of a slump
yeah,
for for a good minute.
yeah, and it took in that, and see, I didn't have anybody to tell me how I was feeling, supposed to feel, because I was in a confused. It was confusing to me. I'm like, am I supposed to celebrate my husband or mourn my mom's death? Like I stated in my Truth Moment Tuesdays, and that was the reason why I'm like, okay, what am I supposed to be feeling? Because God did bless me with this husband that I've been praying for, but it seems like unfair that I'm thinking about him and my mom is dead. So it really threw us for a loop. And he didn't know how to handle that. He like,
You supposed to do both.
yeah, like, and so he didn't know how to handle that as a man and as a husband, because he like, okay, I get it. I understand your mom, is deceased, but what
I'm
about
still
me?
here.
Right, right. So that has been our growth, like one of them, and again, um, something that John Travolta, he said that him and his wife would do. They would do check-ins. They would do their monthly 3 to 6 month check-ins and their yearly check-ins, and it has really helped. It When I say it has, matter of fact, it's time for us to do our end of the year check-in.
Evaluation.
Yeah,
Reevaluate.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Well, we did do one right before we started this season.
Okay,
Okay.
good. How was
We
it?
actually we actually do one at the end of the show too as well.
Oh
We do
wow.
a 12 episode show, and
Okay.
we do it on a show, and then sometimes I just randomly ask, "Hey, how we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Is
Mm.
anything that needs do you feel anything
Like
needs to be changed?"
before we started recording this podcast, I thought I was gonna have to do a check in for real.
What?
Mm.
Because you were just like out of it for a second there.
Uh, uh, uh,
He was dropping stuff, kind of tripping over stuff, forgetting what he was supposed to be doing. So
I
I
ain't
was
doing
just
all that.
like, babe, are you okay? Like,
Yeah.
his response was, I was like, okay.
I still don't. I be like
his
that all day.
his mind has just been on fry station today.
Mm.
So we're probably gonna do a check in this evening to make sure everything's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, I,
But that's a part of growth too, because I would have never in my previous relationship, if you would have done that to me and be like, I probably would have went in the other room and started doing something else, or I probably would have did something on purpose to annoy the heck out of you. So I've grown. I have really grown.
what you mean annoying?
I don't know. I might have just started playing music real loud, or either got real petty and kept bothering
You
you,
sure y'all ain't sisters for real?
aggravating you. Confident.
Oh boy,
Cause he
boy.
was like giving me, I don't know, just leave me alone right now vibes, and I'm just was like,
It wasn't
what's
even
wrong with
that.
you?
I'm like
Yeah, I'm
serious.
like,
I'm
you
trying to.
walk around mugging. You don't want to talk. You don't want to talk to me.
No, I'm trying to figure out why I'm off. It wasn't it had nothing to do with you.
Just trying to figure out what was going on. Like what I did to you. Did I do something wrong? You got me playing back the events from today. Like, dang, did I say anything mean to her? I
Uh,
wasn't mean to him. Wasn't Jesus? I'm sorry.
Sad.
Mm.
And then when I realized it wasn't me, I just shrugged my shoulders and kept going. I said, well, he'll come around when he's ready.
I
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
say she's actually the first person I've literally dated and has continued to date in my 41 years of living.
I think I've made
Mm-hmm.
that a requirement of the consistency. Like, I don't know. I feel
I
like dating
know
is
I'm
necessary for our growth,
you
you know?
ain't you may have, but I've made it myself.
Oh,
So all
excuse
both
me then.
no, cause I wanted that in my marriage,
Right.
and I
Which is,
didn't get it.
and I did good, didn't I? The other day, I randomly said, babe, let's go out to eat.
Hmm.
I picked a restaurant and, I paid.
Yeah.
And we ate good. We enjoyed. We sat and talked about random stuff.
And she did ask. She tried to hand me the card. Cause the man came and said, he gave because they always get a man the ticket.
Right.
Right.
They
Right.
mostly
Yeah.
get a man a ticket and stuff. So she gonna hand me the card.
And so, yeah, I guess I was making, I don't know, that might not have been a good idea. I passed the card to him. Here you go, baby. You can give him the girl.
Whatever. And I told her, "Oh, you the one took me out. you baby what?" No. And I second what you basically stated about a team,
Yeah.
and it's we make people laugh because sometimes we be fighting at the cash register on who finna put the card in first.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I wait till he ain't looking and then scoop.
So it's
Paid for.
oh no. my I know that I've definitely grown. One, I haven't even though we've talked and she's asked, for some guidance on some things, or she asked my opinion on some things,
Mm-hmm.
and they may have come out um in a version of me being a counselor, but I haven't been like purposely trying to fix her like I've
Mm.
been trying to do in all
Sometimes
my.
I purposely ask for the counseling sessions,
Yeah,
and
that I
then you
know.
give
They,
them to me, and then sometimes I'm like, "Nah, that ain't what I want to hear."
yeah, whatever.
That ain't what I want to hear. Don't tell me that. I already knew that.
So yeah, I've grown definitely, and so one lovely last huge
Oh
question,
boy.
madam. So, after hearing all these lovely things, the good and the bad,
Mm-hmm.
can you honestly tell yourself that with how things are going, I think we're good?
How we're going?
Yeah, how you and him are going.
Okay. Honestly, we are going. We are getting stronger and better as a unit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the old me would, sugarcoat it, and because you want to keep up this facade, like you have the perfect. Everybody wants that perfect relationship, but
Mm-hmm.
one thing I've learned that we're us, and it has fueled this passion in me to keep it honest and 100. Does that mean you're sharing all of your business with the world? No. What it says is, hey, me and my husband are human, and we go through some things, but hey, there we are overcoming. We're having more sunny side days up than the downside. Like I, I want I want to show us in the light that yes, we have some bumps in the road. We've hit them. We're going to hit some more, but we're a team and we're going to rock this out until, we can no longer rock it out with the truth. But so far, we are, hey, it's all about the respect level,
Mm-hmm.
and we're learning to respect each other. Um, Not that we didn't, but the respect level grow. With your growth,
Mm-hmm.
you start respecting each other more, if that makes sense. It's
Mm-hmm.
No,
kind
Yeah,
it
of,
yeah, yeah,
does.
yeah.
It does.
and
I
it's like that respect level grows because you're like, okay, wait a minute, she has my back, okay, and then I'm like, oh, he really does have my back. He is a support, and vice versa. So we're getting better. We're I just I love the growth. I love the progress, and I'm excited to see where we're gonna be in the next year or the next 2 years, the next 5 years. So for us, we take it day by day, we take it month by month, and we literally are like, okay, we made it, and we're making it. We're gonna do better. So that's where we are.
Yeah.
awesome. Growth is good. Hey, it's up from here.
Yeah,
Teamwork makes the dream work.
yeah,
I think for me, growth is definitely not comparing my relationship to other people's relationship, because what works for one
yes.
couple may not necessarily work for me and Mister. So we have to,
Hmm.
do to make it what to do on our end. You know,
Right, right,
ever changing the narrative, and making growth normal, making growth and black love a real thing. Like really to get
right.
down to the nitty gritty, facing these issues head on, knocking these
Yeah.
triggers out the box, and moving on, being big boys and girls.
And I like that you said that, not comparing, because again, that's a big factor that plays. You can't compare your relationship with anybody else. You can
Right.
surround yourself. Like, we're so blessed to be surrounded by you guys and other positive couples, because
Oh,
I
look at
believe
me.
when you're around other couples, it helps you in that growth department. It helps you with, like, hey, you know what? We can have somebody to talk to, because let's be honest, marriage is not for everybody, and it's not for the weak. It is
Oh yeah.
not for that
No,
weak,
Ooh.
no, no.
hard. It is not for, and I don't mean weak as anything bad, but if you're trying to get married just to have somebody sleep next to you, this is not it for you.
No.
No, baby.
So that, I like that what you said, like, you can't compare yourself. You can grow with other people, you can learn, you know because y'all have helped us, y'all have been helping us, and so we
We be doing
appreciate
good things
that.
and we didn't even know it. I don't know how
Yeah.
we've helped
Help y'all.
y'all, but
I don't know how
okay.
we doing it, but okay.
You know how you have helped us by looking at life and having fun. Like, that has been one of my prayers for me, because I've always been that serious person in a relationship. And it's like, it's okay, Trinette, to have fun. You don't have to have scheduled fun. You can have spontaneous fun. You can,
Yeah,
it
Hmm.
yeah.
doesn't have to be after. So y'all are helping us helping me, and to help me and my husband have that spontaneous fun, and just to have these kind of conversations, you know? So, yeah.
Beautiful. So yes, guys. So to Sean, I am Trinette Collier. This book,
Yes.
Woman on Fire, girl. I am reading this book. We are gonna have a session and talk about this book. You hear me?
Oh man.
Yes.
Woman on Fire. It can be purchased on Amazon, and where else can they purchase it from?
They can purchase it on my website at iamtrinetteLcollier.com. If you purchase it from me, you definitely get an autographed version of it.
Oh, let
And
me send mine in the mail so I can get an autograph on it, girl. Mm.
I'm
yes.
jealous, Carl.
Nah,
Man.
why you jealous?
Carl, man. I ain't,
Chef might send you a couple cookbook recipes y'all can share. How
Yeah,
about
we'll hook you up like that.
yeah?
We'll get you, yeah.
I want to read the book too.
When I get finished with you can read it, or I'll share with you
So,
as I go.
Oh, can I say something real quick
Yeah.
about the cheesecake? So,
Mm-mm. Baby, it's serious. She done popped her lips. Mm.
so I was able to get me a little larger slice, but your buddy, then he cut that little large slice for me, and he got the yes. Didn't I tell you he was coming in? Did y'all hear
we
that?
heard from him all day long.
I had somebody that said, "You talking about me?" Oh my goodness.
He took the rest of the cake, the cheesecake, y'all. He took the rest of the cheesecake.
Oh
That's all
man.
I gotta say.
Pastor
He
Honey, you're
shared a
supposed to
little piece
share
with me.
dream team, like half and half, 50-50. What happened
Oh
to
my
that?
No.
goodness.
Like 70-30.
I
Oh
was
my
like,
goodness.
where is the cheesecake? I'm coming home from work. I'm just, oh my goodness, my mouth is. He got me a little he got me a nice size slice, but it was laid out in the refrigerator. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, but it didn't hit me until
He
later
probably had done
on.
ate so much and thought to himself, "Ooh, I might want to say this last piece to her because I don't know
Right.
enough."
And I said, wait a minute, where's the rest of the cheesecake?
Oh
Yo,
God.
that cheesecake was hitting it. All I gotta say
It
is
damn sure was.
we will be ordering
It damn
Well,
sure
another
was.
one.
well, you missed a good one today too. I got a dessert sandwich,
Ooh.
and and I thought I sold out, but I left three of them at the home. But I got a Crown Apple Royal dessert sandwiches. I soak the
Ooh.
apples in Crown Royal, and I cook them down in it with apple pie spices, and the breading is a cream cheese pound cake made into miniature waffles.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we will be taking a trip
Sheesh.
and we
Yeah,
will be planning that day.
I had a couple of customers buy some today, and they came back and it was like they had bought. I had a pineapple one today too, and I was trying to tell. I gave them the wrong one. This particular customer, this couple, I gave them the wrong one, and I told them they can have that because it was an accident. I put the wrong label on. My day's been awful. And he was like, "No, we'll pay for it." I said, "No, it was a mistake on my part, so y'all can keep that." And they said, "But it's good, it's good." I'm like, "Nah, you need to taste this other one." And I gave them the Crown Royal one. And I was like, "No, no, I said, you need to taste this one." And so he put it in his mouth, and his wife was like, "Oh, you ain't gonna let me taste it first like the other one?" He's like, nah. He said, "Wait, hold on." So he went for the second bite. She's like, what you do? What you doing? How I taste? Wait, hold on. He go for the he went for the third one. Oh, okay, yeah. This one would taste way more better. And so, yeah, yeah,
I think some things your wife just gotta miss out on when it comes to stuff like that.
And I missed out on it, y'all. So we will definitely be taking a trip. And we're gonna plan a day so we can put our order
we
in.
take visitors. We can do a
Since y'all,
couples double date edition or something.
yes, since y'all been here to the A, we're gonna make it our way there, and so we can put our order in for that. And I want my own.
I know that's right.
The refrigerator ain't big enough for 2 pies.
Oh Lord.
Well, we enjoyed you guys today, and she did talk very sweet about you, handsome honey. Oh.
I don't know if I can believe that. I might be. I'm already.
Well,
you know what?
You can listen to the podcast and hear all the great things she said.
It posts on Wednesday, so you might want to listen.
Right. So thank you for having us.
Anytime. So, guys, we totally appreciate you listening, and we will see you on the flip side. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.